Welcome to Big Red Radio. This is Bet the Mortgage, where we give you our 6 best picks of the weekend, 3 each, 6 total. As I said, last week I went 1-2, Zach went 2-1, so Zach got first pick. I think we got to be close to 500 on the year. We started off slow, kind of picked it up as of late. We're kind of flip-flopping between 2-1, 1-2. So it's probably pretty close. But Zach, you got first pick, so what's your first pick?
My first one is going to be Iowa State minus 4.5 versus KU. Iowa State has KU at home. I like the way this looks. It seems like Iowa State always handles KU at home. KU is a team that just seems to be getting worse as the year goes on, right? You take a bad loss to K-State, a couple bad losses as well. KU is obviously fan-wise in basketball season at this point, right? No more football fans care about that anymore. So I think KU kind of fell off the radar for a lot of people. I think Iowa State, as much as they've taken some bad losses as well, is still humming and still a pretty good team. I think just not enough points here for Iowa State.
Yeah, my first one is Oklahoma minus 7.5 versus Mizzou. I think if Oklahoma wins out, they're in the playoff, and I think they know that. And I think Mizzou's season is kind of over. They have their backup QB in. I think their head coach is looking at some other gigs. I think he might be the next, Penn State coach in waiting. If Florida strikes out on Lane Kiffin, I think he's a big name to watch there. Maybe he get named to watch in LSU as well. So I think Oklahoma, as we've seen, their defense is super talented, and this true freshman quarterback that Mizzou is starting is just going to have a lot of problems facing that Oklahoma defense. I think Oklahoma does enough. I don't know if their offense is good enough, they're good enough to cover the spread, but I don't know if they're that special. I think it'll be a close game most of the way, and then I think Mizzou's going to make some mistakes towards the end, and Oklahoma's kind of going to run away with it. 10-point win, but the 7.5 isn't enough for me.
Yeah, my next one's going to be Nebraska plus 9.5. Even from a complete unbiased standpoint, I still feel like this is a really good pick. The only game we've seen Nebraska really get blown out in this year is Minnesota, and I feel like that was 100% what you can consider a fluke game there, maybe even a trap game, some would say. But we played a really good team against USC, probably a game we should have won. Had a couple things not happen, but nonetheless still lost close. Obviously Michigan, right, played a really good team there, lost close again. This Nebraska team just doesn't seem like a team that gets beat by 10. Especially against a team in Penn State that just isn't all there right now. We talked about in the previous video a little bit how James Franklin taking this Virginia Tech job may cause some of these players that really liked James Franklin to maybe look away from where Penn State's at right now, kind of give up on the season. I personally think Nebraska wins this, but even if they don't end up winning it, I think 9.5 is just way too many points.
Yeah, definitely. My second one is TCU plus 1.5 versus Houston. I know TCU just got beat by a lot against BYU. Houston has just been fraudulent to me all year. They played an easy schedule. Every time it seems like they get a good team, they get killed. So I think TCU, as bad as they looked last week against a really good BYU team, I think they're going to come out and I think they're going to beat Houston. I don't care if it's close. They're underdogs, so plus 1.5 is easy for me.
Yeah, my next one's Illinois minus 7.5 versus Wisconsin. I do understand Wisconsin came out and had a huge win against Washington. I think we all saw last week that was a fluke game, getting absolutely manhandled by Indiana. I totally understand Indiana is one of the best teams in the country. Could even compete for a national title this year. But I think Illinois still is a good team. I think if Illinois was in the SEC and played the way they are, they might be still in the top 25 at this point.
Well, they are. They came out tonight. They are 21.
Oh, correct. In the college ball playoff, yes. But yeah, I think Illinois is just too good of a team. I think Wisconsin's still a bad team. I don't know why they keep them Luke Fickell around. I understand the new age of college football and whatnot, but I think Illinois is just too good of a team here.
Yeah, no, I definitely agree with that one. My last one is Tennessee minus 4 versus Florida. I know Florida kind of hung close with Ole Miss last week. I think that was a really their last chance to push a team. They got killed by Kentucky. I think, they had some motivation last week for whatever reason, and then this week I just think they're done. I just think they want to, stay healthy, get out of the season, hit the portal, whatever happens with the new coach. And I think Tennessee still has stuff to fight for. I think they themselves are probably out of the college football playoff race, but they can still fight for more wins. They still have their coach. They still have all their players. Their quarterback is not playing so well down the stretch, but I think he can have a bounce back game here. So Tennessee -4, and I think that one covers pretty easily.
Yeah, I think people forget how teams fight for non-college football playoff New Year's Six bowls now, right? Like I think people forget that it's still a really, really big deal to fight for things like that.
Right. Yeah, the college football playoff, as good as it is, I think it kind of narrows people's vision of these are the teams that still matter, where a team like Nebraska, who doesn't have a chance to make college football playoff, is going to play really hard these last two games. One, because Iowa down the road is a rivalry game, but also against Penn State because they want to go to the best bowl game they can, and they're competitors. They just want to win the game. So I think Tennessee plays really hard. I think Florida has kind of already shown that they're on their last legs, and they're just trying to stay healthy at this point. So, did you already give your 3?
Yes.
All right, so those are our picks. Make sure to comment down below your best picks. Follow us on all the socials. Hit the subscribe button, hit the bell so you never miss an episode, and we'll see you guys next week.